Welcome to our discussion on the foundation of modern education. Visiting us today, we have two of the most influential and important thinkers and pedagogues in the field, Jean-Jacques Rousseau and Johann Heinrich Pestalozzi, that in the current dynamic of education are present with their contribution. Welcome to this interview. Thanks for taking time to be here with us today.
Good afternoon, dear public. My name is John Heinrich Pestalozzi, and I was born on January 12th in 1746 in Switzerland. I'm a pedagogue and educational reformer who founded several educational institutions and wrote many works about revolutionary modern principes of education.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me here today. My name is Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and I was born on June 28th of 1712 in Switzerland. I am a Swiss-born philosopher, writer, and political theorist.
Thanks for presenting yourself. Mr. Rousseau, please tell us a little bit about your perception of education.
Of course. Thanks for your question. I see the education of children as a process. I think that it is more important to understand children's nature than maybe worrying about the knowledge that is going to be in the curriculum. And I also think that educators must look for the protection of the kids in the corruption of the society.
I would like to add that I see education as a process of art, assisting natural development. I believe in the curriculum and that I propose, a relationship between head, body, and heart that is about the intellectual, physical, and moral field teaching integrating.
Which your idea relate to children in the pedagogy field?
Well, I believe in the concept of development process as Pestalozzi. I think that children are not tiny adults. I think that they must have like a certain process, certain development, and types to evolve their abilities and the dynamics that they have to learn, and the way that they learn. That is a process that must be given from the educators.
I agree with Mr. Rousseau. Children must have the space to develop their skills, and this space is provided by educators through the production of images, sounds, and constructions of concepts using the previous knowledge that they have.
Okay, do you think that your ideas and perception of education were too ahead to the time?
Personally, yes. I think that I was banned from the Catholic Church because they thought that my ideas were calling the learners to the revolution. And that was because of the critics that I made to the Catholic doctrine. And for that reason, they called me that my work and me were immoral.
Also, I would like to say that if you consider educational context of the late 80s and early 90th centuries, I would like to add some of my progressive view in education, emphasize it in child-centered learning, emotional development, and practical experience. At that time, people didn't care about those aspects of education.
Okay, both of you have made significant contribution to the field of education. How do your ideas continue to influence contemporary pedagogic practice?
Well, my emphasis on children-centered learning and experimental education, it is very relevant nowadays. Today's educator often incorporate a play-based learning that is according to the age, and also project-based to the ages of the students. And this is basically what I propose. So I think that these methods allow the children to explore their interests, their abilities, and it teach them how to have the process of problem solving skills and learn through doing that.
In my case, my focus on development and the importance of the teacher-student relationship is still central to effective education. Modern educators recognize the value of creating a supportive environment, helping students to reach their full potential in education.
It's fascinating to hear how both of your ideas continue to resonate today. Mr. Pestalozzi, can you elaborate more on your concept of learning by head, heart, in hands, and how do you see this applied to the modern education?
Certainly, learning by head, heart, and hands refers to the holistic development of the child. The head represents intellectual knowledge, learning facts and theories. The heart stands for emotional and moral education, teaching empathy, kindness, and ethics. And the hands represent the practical experience side, or well, the experience that children have in their learning process, doing crafting and engaging in manual work and things like that in education that I think that it is important to teach nowadays.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Pestalozzi. That brings me to you now, Mr. Rousseau. Your ideas on natural education and the child-centered approach were revolutionary. Could you explain how your vision of education influences today education practice?
Absolutely. I argue that children should be allowed to grow and learn according to their natural development, as I said before. I believe that the best way to learn happens when you experience it. So I think that I prefer from a rigid instruction and memory and memorization. I think that is better the way from experimentation. I think that it could this approach. I think that could be progressive in schools because this emphasize a play based learning. So I think that it is great when education is enjoyable. So I think that it forests child's curiosity and interest, so that promote the education and the learning also. And I think that that also is deeply rooted with my philosophy.
Okay, that's very true. Based learning and child-centric approaches are widely used today. Now, both of you lived in times when your ideas were often met with resistance. Mr. Pestalozzi, how did society react to your education reforms?
Well, at that time, many people view my ideas as impractical or too idealistic for that moment. The traditional education system focused more on rote learning, discipline, and memorization. My belief in fostering emotional development and in creating nurturing environment was seen as too progressive. However, over time, educators realize that children learn better when they feel safe, support, and valued at that moment. Nowadays, we have to implement those kind of rules, if I can say that. So at that moment, people didn't like my way to teach to children.
I agree with Mr. Pestalozzi because in my time my work was seen as subversive because it was they thought that I was promoting the rebellion and I was challenging a rigid society structure. So I think that the norms were that I proposed were dangerous maybe. So I think that for that reason I was banned from some places that because of my controversial work. So I think that my ideas became foundational in the development of the modern democratic education in the current ages.